The Flush-to-Composting Toilet upgrade is a clean, modern, odorless, easy-to-use upgrade that converts a flush-type toilet into a dry toilet that dramatically reduces freshwater use and eliminates the creation of E. coli-infested black water. It also eliminates the need for a separate garbage receptacle for toilet paper. In fact, toilet paper plays an important role in the composting process. There are many advantages to composting your toilet paper. It reduces bathroom odors. It is a form of recycling. It reduces the waste stream. It is more hygienic and prevents disease. Workers sorting through trash in the dump to obtain recyclables will not have to handle soiled toilet paper. The upgrade fits over your existing toilet, although it will work just as well as a standalone toilet. It can be used in even a very small bathroom. It requires only 8 extra inches on each side of the existing toilet. A conventional toilet seat is used. The receptacle is divided into 2 parts. The front part is for liquid waste, urine, and the rear part is for solid waste, feces and toilet paper. At first it may seem that it would be difficult to use this urine separating system, but this is a well-tested technology that has been in commercially available composting toilets or urine diverting desiccation toilets for home use for decades. Another feature of this design is that the user will not be able to see or smell the waste from the previous user. In addition, an active ventilation system shields the user from the odor of even his or her own current use. Liquid waste flows down a ramp and through a funnel into a plastic jug. The large size of all openings prevents clogs, even if feces or toilet paper is accidentally introduced into the liquid handling system. Super hydrophobic non-stick surface treatments and suction from the duct fan assure that no residue or odor remains. This lever drops the solid waste into the composting chamber. Thanks to new nanotechnology breakthroughs, all waste handling surfaces are coated with super hydrophobic non-stick treatments so that all waste slides down and away, leaving no residue behind. Notice also the integrated toilet paper holder. Another option might be a built-in magazine rack. Here the liquid waste collection area has been removed to show the solid waste collection area. The solid waste collection area is completely self-contained so that the user cannot see or smell the waste of previous users. Super hydrophobic non-stick surface treatments and suction from the duct fan assure that no residue or odor remains from previous users. When the flushing lever is actuated, the solid waste collection area swings down so that the waste is transferred into the composting chamber. The waste all slides cleanly due to the surface treatment. This ratcheting lever handle is pushed back and forth once per use to help mix the compost and keep it aerated. Testing will be conducted to make sure that all moving parts are strong enough for a long lifetime of use with little maintenance required. 4 ratcheting bicycle sprocket clusters with bicycle chains transfer the motion of the mixing handle to the mixing bars within the composting chamber. As the lever is pushed back and forth, the mixing bars continue to rotate in just one direction. This is the same principle that allows the pedals on many bicycles to be rotated back and forth while the bicycle moves in only one direction. This aquarium-style pump keeps the compost fed with fresh air to promote the proliferation of aerobic bacteria. This type of bacteria breaks down compost very quickly without unpleasant odors. Hoses run from this pump into the composting chamber to provide the essential oxygen for efficient operation. The pump should not be any louder than an aquarium, but if the noise is bothersome, it could be put on a timer to run only at specified times. These perforated pipes emit pressurized air from the pump above to feed the aerobic bacteria. Finished compost falls through the holes in the floor of the composting chamber and into the collection drawer below. To assure good airflow and odorless operation, a duct pipe with an inline fan continuously draws air through the toilet and to the exterior of the building. Ideally, it should vent above the roof or at least away from public areas. Frequently asked questions. What are the dimensions? 42 inches wide, 35 inches tall, 26 inches deep. What will it be made out of? My current thinking is to use 3/8 inch plywood for the basic structure. Afterwards, I am hoping to get our local boat repair shops to coat all surfaces in fiberglass. This is a standard type of boat construction. Who else will be working on this project? All are welcome to contribute. I will be appealing to industry and higher education institutions in the United States to provide technical assistance, collaboration, and research for this project. How do you know if it will work as intended? I plan to build at least one prototype and test it extensively in our household. The prototype will be fitted with data logging electronics that will continuously log conditions such as temperature, humidity, pH, and levels of fullness in various regions of the toilet. Others are welcome to help test out the design. What are these super hydrophobic non-stick surface treatments, and what do you know about them? My understanding is that some of them are modeled after the surface of a fern leaf and have a microscopic texture that traps tiny air bubbles that repel water. Others trap a water-repellent liquid. The Massachusetts Institute of Technology has developed some of this technology, and I hope that they will provide assistance. There are several commercially available forms at this point. They are used in food handling, chemical transport, and many commercial and manufacturing applications. How does this design compare in terms of capacities and processes to commercially available composting toilets? The processes used in this design are typical of the more sophisticated commercially available composting toilets. I used the information I could find to make the capacities of the various chambers comparable to those in commercially available composting toilets. This design has some features that I have not seen in existing toilets. 1. The ability to be installed over an existing flush toilet. 2. An isolated solid waste collection chamber that empties into the composting chamber. And 3. The use of super hydrophobic non-stick surface treatments. How much will it cost? That is an excellent question for which I do not yet have an answer. I will try to keep costs as low as possible. It will be constructed here in Guatemala where labor is inexpensive, so that should help. Even at inexpensive labor rates by U.S. standards, the initiative should still provide much needed fairly paid employment for local indigenous workers. Also, since this project is motivated only to help the environment, it will not be necessary to make a profit. In the name of protecting Lake Atitlán, we may be able to raise money to pay for or subsidize the cost of toilets for those who cannot afford them. There are many perfectly good composting toilets available outside of Guatemala, typically costing between $1,000 and $5,000 US before shipping. I would hope to be able to build this design for considerably less. What happens if urine or feces get into the wrong compartment? No harm will be done by occasional cross-contamination. Due to its alkalinity and ammonia content, urine will kill off any bacteria that gets into it if left long enough. Unless it has been stored for a long time, it is best to assume that urine may be contaminated, either due to feces or a urinary tract infection. Urine is an excellent fertilizer, but care should be taken in handling it and should not be used on food crops unless it is first sterilized by heating or aging. If urine gets into the solid waste area, there should not be any detrimental effects. Urine's antibacterial qualities will impede the composting process slightly, but not enough to matter. Most designs allow the urine to mix with the feces. In those designs, any liquid buildup is drained from the bottom of the composting chamber. What if parts break or the toilet needs to be serviced? With the exception of the non-stick surface coating, all parts are readily available in the Lake Atitlán area. Consumer quality non-stick coatings are sold under the Rust-Oleum brand and are probably available in Guatemala City. They are not as durable as I would prefer and would have to be reapplied periodically. I will try to source an industrial quality product that is available in Guatemala. In general, the mechanisms employed are well within the expertise of the average handy person or guardian. What type of maintenance would be required? The goal will be for the design to be practically maintenance-free. Surfaces should be wiped down occasionally, preferably with a 50-50 mixture of distilled vinegar and water. Some of the moving parts should be oiled occasionally. A wax-based bicycle oil would be ideal, but any lubricant would be fine. Since it does not contain the seals and valves of a flush toilet, it should be less prone to failure. Will it be possible to access the flush toilet below? The Flush-to-Composting Toilet upgrade is designed to sit approximately 5 inches forward of the back of the flush toilet. This should allow access to the shutoff valve and the rear tank of the flush toilet. If needed, the unit can be slid forward for greater access. How long will it take the solid waste to become compost? Until the prototype is tested, we will not know for sure. But various factors favor the design to be a fast composter. Specifically, the urine is separated so that it should not impede the process. Constant airflow and mixing will encourage aerobic bacterial activity, and a warm climate should also help. I estimate that it will take approximately 2 months. You may wonder how such a small unit could hold 2 months' worth of solid waste, but the volume of resulting compost is roughly 1/10 of the volume of waste entering the system. How are the solid and liquid waste receptacles emptied? The solid waste finished compost drawer slides all the way out. This requires approximately 28 inches of clearance in the front of the toilet. It can then be dumped in a garden. It will have the smell and feel of high-quality potting soil. Depending upon the temperatures we can achieve in the composting chamber, it should be free of pathogens. The urine collects in a plastic jug which can be easily removed and emptied. People typically dilute it 50-50 with water and use it as a fertilizer. It is extremely high in nitrogen and phosphorus. All statements contained in this video are true to the best of my knowledge. That said, I welcome all fact-checking, corrections, and opposing points of view or differing experiences. Sincerely, Dan Radin.